Welcome to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. In a dramatic turn, John Deere, the iconic American brand of 185 years, is slamming the brakes on U.S. production. The company's moving jobs to Mexico, cutting costs amid declining sales and rising expenses. This shift has fired up political drama, with U.S. President Trump threatening punishing tariffs to keep jobs on home turf. As America's agricultural backbone braces for the fallout, we'll unpack the facts, the impacts, and what it all means for the future of American-made machinery. Buckle up. Let's get into it. The shifting gears of an American icon. For more than 185 years, John Deere has been a symbol of American farming might, but the brand now faces severe challenges. In July 2024, Deere announced the closure of several U.S. plants, leading to 600 job losses in Iowa, Illinois, and other states. The cuts didn't stop there. By 2025, Deere shed another 287 jobs, underscoring the relentless financial and strategic pressures bearing down on the company. Behind this retrenchment is a troubling earnings report. Deere's sales plunged 18% in the second quarter, with forecasts predicting deeper declines. High interest rates and slumping crop prices have farmers holding off on equipment purchases, leaving Deere's warehouses brimming and forcing production cuts. To stay afloat, the company is shifting production of small loaders to Mexico by 2026. This pivot has triggered fierce political backlash, with U.S. President Trump threatening a 200% tariff to keep Deere's green and yellow machines rolling in the U.S. But Deere's troubles don't end with plant closures. The ripple effects extend deep into the trade and tariff battlegrounds. Tariffs and the price of progress. The trade landscape is only getting thornier for Deere. Already, tariffs have cost the company $100 million this quarter alone, with a projected $500 million hit looming in 2025. The construction and forestry sectors, heavily tied to global markets, are especially feeling the burn. To soften the blow, Deere is seeking tariff relief under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, and tweaking its global production footprint. Most of next year's orders are already locked in, but brace for 2% to 4% price hikes on 2026 equipment, another hurdle for cash-strapped farmers. Behind the scenes, Deere's lawyers and engineers are working overtime, renegotiating supply contracts and hunting for new efficiencies. But with tariffs rewriting the rules of global trade overnight, Deere's future is anything but certain. Before we dig deeper, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It might seem small, but it really helps boost this video in the YouTube algorithm and keeps this vital discussion going. Let's keep rolling and see how this crisis is hitting home for communities across the country. The human toll, communities in peril. The restructuring's human impact cuts deeper than any quarterly report. Since March 2024, over 1,800 Iowans have lost their jobs to Deere's shifting gears. In 2025 alone, 287 workers have been let go, 119 from Ankeny, 75 from Ottawa, echoing through families and main streets alike. These layoffs aren't just economic. There's a moral reckoning too. Iowa lawmakers have introduced a bill demanding that companies slashing jobs return some of the state tax credits they've pocketed. Deere counters that the layoffs are purely driven by market realities, not a betrayal of public trust. Yet for the families grappling with lost income and an uncertain future, that argument can ring hollow. Local economies built around the steady beat of Deere's factories are staggering, with shuttered storefronts and dwindling optimism. In towns that wear the Deere logo with pride, the layoffs sting like a blow to the soul. But the challenges extend beyond the factory gates, out into the fields where farmers are making tough decisions every day. Farmers at a crossroads, the equipment crunch. For the farmers who form the backbone of John Deere's customer base, the road ahead looks tough. High interest rates have made financing new equipment more expensive, while low crop prices are slashing incomes. On top of that, trade wars have triggered retaliatory tariffs, shrinking critical export markets for U.S. agriculture. The result? Farmers are putting off upgrading their equipment, and instead relying on older machinery. This shift is hitting local dealerships hard, as new equipment sales slump and demand for used gear spikes. Parts shortages and long repair times only add to the frustration, leaving farmers and dealers caught in a cycle of delay. Beyond the economics, there's a psychological toll at play. Many farmers are holding back, worried about the instability of today's markets. That hesitation is a ripple that extends far beyond the fields, reaching all the way to local businesses and Deere's own bottom line. Supporting these loyal customers is essential if John Deere hopes to maintain its role as the trusted partner of American agriculture. Let's move on to see how Deere is trying to future-proof its operations through bold investments. Building for the future, Deere's big bets. Despite these headwinds, John Deere isn't throwing in the towel. The company has announced a massive $20 billion investment in its U.S. operations over the next decade, a sign it's in this race for the long haul. That money will modernize aging factories, fund new construction, and boost workforce development across the country. Projects like expanding the remanufacturing facility in Missouri, adding new lines in Waterloo, Iowa, and building a new excavator plant in Kernersville, North Carolina, are all part of the plan. Deere's aim? To keep its brand strong and its equipment at the cutting edge, even as global markets shift around it. But there's no guarantee these investments will pay off. Success depends on more than just fresh paint and new assembly lines. It's about earning back trust and showing farmers that Deere is still their go-to partner. Here at Piston Pundit, we'll be tracking these efforts closely to see if Deere's commitment to Made in America can carry it through the storm. Of course, none of these investments will matter if Deere can't fix its biggest headache: supply chain chaos. Supply chain struggles, the silent challenge. Beyond the job cuts and tariff headlines lies another battle: supply chain strain. For John Deere, getting parts and materials has become a high-stakes juggling act. Semiconductor shortages and rising steel prices have stretched production times by as much as 6 months, threatening to derail deliveries and relationships alike. Deere isn't standing still. It's revisiting its global production map and pushing for tariff exemptions under the USMCA. It's also joined the Federal Freight Logistics Optimization Works (FLOW) program to improve cargo visibility and tamp down bottlenecks. Still, even these efforts can't fully erase the uncertainty. For the farmers and contractors counting on timely deliveries, these delays can be the difference between a successful season and a missed opportunity. Deere's ability to navigate these complexities and keep machines rolling off the line will be critical in restoring confidence and safeguarding its reputation. Conclusion: steering through the storm. John Deere is in uncharted territory, balancing immediate challenges with the promise of future growth. Layoffs and shifting production highlight the harsh realities of a volatile economy, while $20 billion in investments signal a clear intent to stay relevant in the world of American farming. For the communities built around Deere's green and yellow badge, this moment is both a test and a chance for renewal. The road forward will be shaped by Deere's ability to adapt and earn back the trust of its loyal farmers, workers, and partners. So, we want to hear from you. Will Deere's big investments be enough to steady the ship and secure its place in American agriculture? How are these trade wars and tariff tensions playing out in your local communities? What do you think it'll take to keep John Deere's green machines rolling in the U.S. for generations to come? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories and insights. And don't forget to subscribe to Piston Pundit to stay up to date on all the latest in the world of automotive and beyond. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep those engines humming. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's plenty more to explore.